Hello, how you doing? Well, how's it going? Look what I've got here. I've got a Alcoshots box. Now I kicked this off yesterday. And you get 2 buckets, 2 of these. Thanks to Brewmaster Ben for giving me the idea to give this a go. I got a bit bored of doing the same old brewing stuff, folks, and I thought I'd try something a little bit different. Now the idea of this is that not because I like alcoholic shots, is I want to do a sort of alco pop. So behind me here I've got a soda stream. Now what I'll probably end up doing is taking the shots from the finished product and producing some sort of alco pop with lemonade and bits of the blueberry, in this instance, alco shot kit. Now the instructions that come with the alco shot are, I mean, an idiot can follow these. They're so simple. It's honestly, it's, you can do it with your eyes shut, folks. There's an awful lot of sugar though. The second sugar pack that you get, there it is, you chuck that in once it's finished fermenting to give it the sweetness. And you know, the brewer in me would say, well, hang on a minute, the alcohol's just going to eat the sugar. But however, you chuck in some stabiliser and acid there, some finings there as well, a cute little spoon. I don't know why it's pink. Hey, who cares? So I think that will probably end up killing the yeast when you chuck that in, and you chuck the sugar in to give it more sweetness. But there we go, here's the blueberry packet there. We'll give it a go, folks. The only reason I bought it, well, first of all because Ben gave me the idea to give it a go, and second of all, I found I had some Tesco vouchers. When I used to have money, we used to shop at Tesco's, and the Tesco vouchers built up after a while, and we had over 100 quid's worth of Tesco vouchers, because you can double them up on certain items. So we got a new microwave, which was good, and with the bits and pieces that were left over, I bought this. They're in a sale at the moment, Tesco Direct, 25% off. And I thought, why not? I'll give it a go. I've not done them before. I didn't want to try apple. I think I've done apple to death, folks, ciders and things. I just thought I'd do the blueberry one because it's something completely different that I wouldn't normally do. And also, I'm not really a shot drinker, so I'll just make some little alco pops out of it and we'll see how we get on with it. So it's on. I'll show you that in a minute. We'll just go over there and I'll show you the fermenting bucket with stuff in it. It's not very exciting, but that's what we've been up to this week. Yeah, it's all good. What else? Oh yes, I've cleared out the shed of doom from all of the beer that's been in the shed, because it's been getting really cold here in the UK and it looks like it's going to get worse over the Christmas period. So I brought my beers in from the shed, and oh dear, in with a bit of a shock, folks. You'll understand why when I show you in a moment what's going on with that. Too many beers spoil the broth, shall we say. Yeah, I'm getting a bit worried actually, because there's a lot of beer there, and I was going to be good on the run up to Christmas and not drink so much beer, and you know, sort of try losing some weight, because I'm getting a bit fat now and I don't like it. I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable putting clothes on and things, so that's when you know that you need to lose some pounds. And of course, if you stop drinking, the bloody weight falls off, doesn't it? However, I've got so much beer out there, I think I might have to leave it until after Christmas, folks. So yeah, we'll get through Christmas and then we'll start on the dieting, and I dare say there won't be any brewing going on for a while, because there's just too much. Honestly, it's like a bloody beer arama or something out there. So yeah, last weekend was the cast. As you know, I do it every weekend when I'm able to. Mad cast last weekend, folks. 128 people in the room at one point. Dun, that beats the previous world record of something like 75, 78. 128 people watching me ramble on and play silly music. That's assuming, of course, that the Vaughan Live servers weren't getting spammed and there were actual people. I tend to go by the amount of people that are actually in the room, to be honest. I don't worry about the lurkers, and I never switch on guest chat because that just opens up the door to the trolls, and I don't like the trolls, folks. You come into my room and you troll me, I'm gonna kick your ass. So yeah, but it was good. We had a good laugh and played some decent tunes, and we finished the top 100 Lakeybloke Disco Rundown. So this weekend I'm going to be starting Lakey's 80s Soul Weekender Part 1 of 2 or 3 probably, and we'll play some Christmas tunes because it's nearly Christmas, isn't it? And hopefully we'll have a good time. Anything else going on brew wise? No, I haven't even got a brew in my hand, folks. Look, there's nothing, there's no brews on the go at all. It's, what can I say, I'm just being good this week. I'm not really in the mood to have a beer. What's going on with that? I don't know. But yeah, I'll show you the fermentation bucket, and you'll see what's happened after a day. It comes with an awful lot of yeast and nutrient, this Alcoshot kit. I mean, to be honest with you, it's fairly good for what it is. But you could get away with buying all the bits and bobs yourself and do it separately. I mean, there are exact measurements in here. And the good thing is, it tells you how much of each product there is in each packet. So if you wanted to, you could get yourself some sort of flavouring, 35 grams of flavouring. Now you could use SodaStream, couldn't you? You could do yourself like a alcoholic Coke or something. I mean, you've got enough bloody SodaStreams in the cupboard there. I could do one of those. And this is the acid stabiliser that I suspect is going to kill the yeasties off. But yeah, you know, it's all right. It's all good. It's quite a good thing to do, I think. You've got to try something different, haven't you, folks? Because you know, when you're doing home brewing, sometimes you end up doing the same thing all the time. You get into habits and you get a little bit bored. So I thought if I gave this a go, it would be a good thing to do, to try and make some Alco pops and things. And it's something that we haven't done before. So yeah, we'll see how we get on with that. Pointless me doing a video of it, of course. Uncle Ben's already done one. Uncle Ben? That's a mixture between Ben and Uncle John, isn't it? Sorry about that, folks. Imagine if those two cohabited. That's a scary thought, isn't it? Whoa. Sorry about it. Uncle Ben. Ben has already done a video on these Alcoshots. I didn't really see any point in doing it again. But I'll show you the fermenting bucket with the stuff in it. It's quite thick, actually, the liquid. When you give it a stir and you chuck all the sugars and the yeasties in, it's quite a thick product. But that's fine with me, I don't really care about that. It's just about trying something different. And I had some Tesco vouchers left over and we used them up. And so essentially, yeah, I didn't really have enough vouchers to use on this. I ended up paying just under a tenner for it, I think, in the end. And yeah, it seems good for what it is, to be honest. It's just a couple of buckets. You only get one lid, sadly, which I think is a shame. They should have stuck another lid in there. I mean, come on. However, I can't imagine you using more than one of those small fermenting buckets at once. They're probably good to use for turbo ciders as well, and little batches, you know, little batches of wine maybe. But I'm not a wine drinker, so it's not really a problem for me. I do like to be ciders. One other thing I've got to show you this week before we go is this. Now, as you can see, this is quite murky. This is a turbo cider, folks. I haven't done one for a while, but I did, and it's not, maybe a little bit starting to carb. Give it a little shake. maybe a little bit. I did this particular cider with a dry cider yeast. Now it's the Mangrove Jacks, I think it might be the M05, Mangrove Jacks cider yeast. I wanted to give it a go because I had a sachet lying around. I can't remember when or where I bought it, to be honest, but I found it in the fridge and I thought I'd give it a go on a small batch. So I only took out a teaspoon of yeast from the packet. I've still got another teaspoon's worth in there, so if it's a good yeast I can chuck it in and do another batch. However, it has produced a very sort of cloudy cider, and obviously I'm used to the clear ciders with the 775, but you know, this one will go into long-term storage. I'm not going to drink it yet. I'll just stick it out there with the rest of the crap I've got, and you know, we'll go back to it in 6 months and we'll see how it's gone. I didn't put any other additions in there, as usual, folks. I don't like to chuck chemicals into my ciders or into my beers. Don't really see the need to do that. But you know, see how it turns out. We haven't really lost anything, have we? A couple of cartons of orange juice, apple juice. If it doesn't work, then I won't go back and do them again. But it's worthwhile doing it, I think, because I've not tried that particular yeast. And as we run the Turbo Cider users group on Facebook, it's always a good idea to try out all these different yeasts yourself so that you can give advice on your experiences with them. Talking about the Turbo Cider Makers user group thing, someone on there this week has asked me to throw up a post on the additions that you throw into the Turbo Cider, so things like malic acid, tannin, yeast nutrient and pectolase, and the benefits of throwing them in, and whether they actually produce any benefit at all, that kind of thing. So I've created a little document, I've chucked it up on the Turbo Cider group if you want to take a look at it. If you're already a member, go and have a look. If you're not a member, join. Don't cost anything, does it? And I've just thrown in my experiences and what I've found by using the additions with the ciders. Again, it's all my own experiences. Your experiences may differ from mine, and it's my opinion. That's all it is, folks. It's an opinion. It's not taken as read. Just because I say it so doesn't necessarily mean it so. You really need to try these things out yourself. But you know, I can give you my opinion, and that's all I can do, isn't it, really? I can't give you somebody else's opinion. But personally, when I do a cider, and I think I've said this before, I don't like to chuck any chemicals in. When I first started doing ciders a few years ago, every cider I did, I chucked in some pectolase, I chucked in malic acid, you know, I chucked in tannin, and I did it because that's what everybody else was doing, and no one was really able to come back and tell me why these items needed to be thrown in. And that's what led me to start the Turbo Cider group in the first place, really, because I thought that as a newbie, if I had that information available to me quite easily in one place, then perhaps I wouldn't have made as many mistakes as I did when I first set out doing ciders in the first place. As it turns out, I found out from my own experiences that using the cheap dry cider yeasts like Young's, I'm not singling out Young's because Young's do some fantastic beer kits, but that particular cider yeast is probably the cheapest cider yeast you can get, and it's, you know, you get what you pay for basically. So I found out by trial and error, folks, this is why I know what I'm talking about now, that try and steer clear of the cheap cider yeasts. I'm trying this one just because I had it lying around. Who knows, it may well be as good as the 775. However, you know, I like to be proven wrong, and I don't think in this case that's going to happen. But we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. And I used to throw in malic acid and pectolase and all the tannin and all that other shit into ciders as well. Don't do any of that anymore. I just get myself my 775 yeast or the Y yeast 4766, and I do ciders with that. Plain ciders, nowadays I don't really like ciders with additions in or fruity bits and stuff. Can't really be bothered. I prefer plain cider, and even then I don't drink too much of that nowadays. So it just goes to show, when you start doing beer after brewing cider for so long, your tastes change, and you know, you go off things quite easily and you go on to another new experiences and new tastes, and your tastes change over time. So that's all for me for this week, folks. A little bit of a bonus for you. I wasn't going to do a video, but as I kicked off this Alcoshot thing and I had to clear out the shed, I just thought I'd show you those things, and this as well. Quite murky. I mean, that's been in the bottle for 3 days now. Where are we? It's Thursday. 4 days. Yeah, it don't look too good, does it? But who knows? It may well clear. I mean, the top of it was starting to clear down a little bit. We'll see how we go. Here's another one I prepared earlier, folks. That one's a little bit more carved than the other bottle. But yeah, there's some sediment at the bottom there that you can see. I expect the rest of it will clear somewhat and we'll get a slightly clearer cider. However, I can't imagine it clearing as well as the 775 ciders that we've tried. But we'll see. You never know, I might be proven wrong. So that's all for me for this week, folks. I'll look forward to all your videos. I've already watched a few this week. I know I'm a little bit late this week with this, but I wasn't going to do one in the first place. But hey, you know, consider it a bonus. And that's all for me. I'll leave you with the little bit of video on the conservatory beers and a shot or two of the Alcoshots. Did you see what I did there? Did you see what I did? Shot of the Alcos, forget it. So that's coming up next, and I'll see you next time. Ta-da! Here we are then, folks. Here's the bucket, the fermentation bucket with the Alcoshots stuff in it. As you can see, the yeast is already kicked off. There's already been some fermentation taking place. Let's have a little quick look on the inside. I know that we shouldn't be doing this, but that's fine. Look, it's still rather murky in there, but that's alright. The lid goes on very loosely. You don't really need an airlock in there. That lid just goes on loosely and that's fine. But yeah, it's alright, isn't it? You get nearly 4 litres of Alcoshot out of that, so it's alright, isn't it? Something different. So here we are in the Conservatory of Doom. As you can see, the Conservatory of Doom at the moment resembles something out of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom or something, with all these boxes in there. Was it Raiders of the Lost Ark? Yeah, the first one, where they go and put the Ark of the Covenant into the warehouse when there's all those boxes. Obscure film reference there. Got shitloads of beer here, haven't I? Let's have a look down here. What we got? We've got Cervezas there. I've got an Irish Ale box there. I've got honey lager. Was that Irish Ale? No, that's an Irish Ale now. I've got Winter Warmer there. Another box of Winter Warmer. I've got Old Rosie. There's some Munton cider there. Golden Stag in this one. Another Cerveza. My Cascade Ale was in there. And various other bits and bobs under there that need to be drank at some point. I brought them out in from the shed because it's getting a bit cold now, and in the Conservatory of Doom at the moment. I haven't got the heating on out here, but there you go. 12.2 degrees, it's not too bad. So, still bloody cold though. Oh dear, you got to laugh, haven't you?